as the Ethereum spot ETF comes into mainstream spotlight, we know for sure that the next upcoming narrative, we talked about it before, is Ethereum ecosystem plays. And there is one Ethereum ecosystem play that I think is way undervalued right now. So today we're going to talk about Metis and why I think it is the most obvious altcoin that is about to explode here in the coming months. They have massive plans, and that's what we're going to cover in depth today, guys. There's all the evidence here to support my theory. And let's get into it, guys. If you're excited to hear about Metis and why I think it's going to pump like crazy, destroy that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. What's up, guys? My name is Kyle Chasse, been in crypto for 12 years. My objective here on this channel is to make you guys as much money as humanly possible in this upcoming super cycle. So let's get into it, guys. Before we jump into Metis, I just want to give you a little bit of this kind of stuff just makes me happy. So let's start off with a short video describing, let's welcome the TradFi, or as we like to call them, TardFi, into our world.
One thing that Matt said that I loved is momentum factor is respect the pump. It is absolutely true. One thing that traditional finance does is they sort of look down on crypto because they have different names for the same things. Is very ticker hodl could be translated into traditional financeese as buy and hold, which is the most august investing strategy of all time, right? You're very responsible. You buy and hold. But you enable it something different or memeable, and suddenly it's a joke. It really is about semantics.
Look out, Matthew's just like, yep, very true, very true, very true.
At some level, they really are the same thing.
If you enjoyed that.
Okay, and then continuing over here, we go just as we welcome more of TradFi to crypto, let's make sure we're speaking the same language. HODL, buy and hold, respect the pump, momentum factor investing, buy the dip, dollar cost average, fork, spin-off, altcoin equals small cap, shitcoin micro cap, degen retail trader, diamond hands long-term investor, and whale as a large investor. All right, guys. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go into Metis DAO. So I've talked about this before. Metis is a layer 2 on Ethereum rollup, optimistic rollup. If you guys don't know, we launched Metis on paid ignition back in 2021, and very, very proud of this team. As you may or may not know, Vitalik's mother is one of the founders of Metis, and they've been making a lot of traction and actually are doing, as you can see here at the top, decentralized sequencer community testing is now in progress. This is a big deal, right? If you don't know, I'm also a VC. I look at a lot of deals. I talk to a lot of founders. The sequencer is something that people have been trying to figure out how to decentralize because it's a single point of failure. And anyway, it's not, we'll get into just a little bit more of what realms of possibilities open up once that happens, but it's happening. So as you can see here, guys, if you look at the last, let's look at the chart here. So obviously it, had this meteoric rise after we launched it in 2021, came down in the bull market, or the bear market, been pretty flatlined. And over here, over the past 30 days, absolutely nice chart here, almost 400% in the last 30 days. It's up from when we talked about it just a few days ago from 110, got hit to 120 today. But what I really want to bring to your attention here is look at this layer 2 list here. And you can see that when it comes down to valuations, Polygon, 7.8 billion, Optimism, 3.3 billion, Immutable, 2.7, Arbitrum, 2.7, Mantle, 2.2. And then Metis down here at 624. Metis has a project that's been absolutely fundamentally strong since the very beginning, in it for the right reasons, building good technology, some of the most advanced technology, most advanced ecosystems. And one of the things that you can always also see on these charts over here the last 7 days is one of them, pretty much one only here, is up and to the right? And that's, you can't see, my head is blocking the rest of them, but up and to the right, Metis, it's momentum, right? And we just heard from this traditional investor video over here. Momentum is investing, and we always want to look where momentum is heading and try to get ahead of that curve. So we're going to talk about that. And so let's go into a couple of just obvious statements here. So as you can see on different exchanges that's been trading, it's been Coinbase. There's been a premium. And so Metis Degen says almost 24 hours now and Coinbase still trading at a premium. What's going on? Is Coinbase running out of Metis tokens? Coinbase users are clearly based, allowing this premium to persist. Big ol' nuts. Usually these gaps, guys, across exchanges, like these are arbitrage opportunities. And for there to be such a big discrepancy in price on Coinbase just means there's huge demand coming from that exchange, that even though there's people trying to take advantage of the arbitrage opportunities, which just means like price discrepancy making these trades, they're still able to hold a premium for over 24 hours on Coinbase, which is pretty nuts. As you can see, also TVL is skyrocketing on Metis. Now there's a little bit of discrepancy between L2 Beat and DeFi Llama, but no matter what chart you look at, it is exploding in TVL ecosystem growth. And so the decentralized sequencer, the sequencer is essentially the part of a layer 2 that takes all the transactions, bundles them up, and sends them down to Ethereum for final confirmation. Now, this is important because if the sequencer goes down, and typically a sequencer is ran by a multi-sig or a couple of key players, and it is a single point of failure. But now that Metis has this decentralized sequencer in testing, it will open up a whole new realm of possibilities. And there is some ways that we can airdrop farm or point farming in this Metis ecosystem. In the description, like always, guys, there's going to be an Excel sheet or a sheet with instructions on how to farm airdrops, not only in testing the community sequencer, but also in playing around some of the different applications in Metis. You can see here these ones. So basically, yeah, so just so you understand, the community testing is an initiative from Metis DAO, incentivizing dApp usage on Metis Sepolia testnet. This will allow devs to test the decentralized sequencer and make sure everything is ready for mainnet launch. The official community testing page is decentralized.metis.io. Again, we will put these, these are the different types of dApps that they want you to basically just go and testnet, use them, try them out, get free tokens, and you will be getting some airdrops. Now, let's get into the why I'm so bullish on this. And it's important, like Ivan always says, respect the pump. And first of all, let's just this is hilarious.
Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. But fundamentals will always ensure that you at least pump initially. Fundamentals, fundamental, 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 and fundamental. Fundamentals, fundamental, fundamentals, fundamental, fundamentals. The best thing is to have 50% fundamentals, nice. 50% fundamentals, 50% fundamentals, perfect. 50% fundamentals. But fundamentals are always decades behind the fundamentals.
So in this case, guys, it's the opposite, but you need both. Like Ivan says, you need 50% pumpamentals and 50% fundamentals. And so what Metis has been lacking until now is the pumpamentals, but we're going to go into why that's about to change right now. So community testing is just a first step. After community testing, we'll see decentralized sequencer mainnet launch. And what that will enable too is the Metis staking and LSDs. So we're about to see the whole LSD narrative develop in Metis as well, bringing more TVL, more activity, economic flywheels, and we're about to get into that. This is this 3.3, which is economic flywheels deployments, including SocialFi, GambleFi, Perps, and this 3.3 things, these different mechanisms essentially. All I can say is this will be an exciting ride. The bull market is upon us, and if you want to start from the right foot, you must first understand these three Metis DAO flywheels: the Metis EDF, the Economic Development Fund, the Sequencer Mining Flywheel, and the Ecosystem Grants Flywheel. So you have, first of all, this most important thing, which is almost $500 million for this Economic Development Fund that is about to be deployed. Those of you guys who have been watching the channel for a while, you saw what happened when we talked about the STIP program from Arbitrum. It absolutely sent Arbitrum's TVL through the roof. In fact, Arbitrum TVL passed Solana recently, and that was from the STIP program. And Metis is about to do the same thing with $500 million. But the thing to keep in mind is as the value of Metis keeps increasing, that fund increases as well. Just 30 days ago, that EDF would be worth 125 million, right? But with the 4x pump, it's now worth almost $500 million, ready to pump into ecosystem development in Metis DAO, which is crazy. The next thing is we have the sequencer mining flywheel, essentially. And so the way that the decentralized sequencer works is that if you are running a validator that is processing the sequencers, if you want to run a sequencer, you must stake 20 to 100,000 Metis, right? So this is not affordable for most people, but institutions and people who want to basically generate a bunch of money, it is possible. And there are many big enterprise companies who run validator networks who will be doing this. 5 sequencers reduce the supply around 100,000 to 500,000. 30 sequencers reduce the supply 600,000 to 3 million Metis. And that's 60 to 30% of the total supply. Lower supply equals higher value, which gives another reason for the Metis token, more reduction in circulating supply, pumpamentals, right? Very obvious. And then also the other thing here too is that you have, where is it? So Metis would be the ecosystem grants flywheel. Yeah, so Metis EDF will be sequencer mining and ecosystem grants. The sequencer mining flywheel already explained, so we'll skip into that part. The ecosystem grants are meant for adoption and growth of the Metis ecosystem in 3 grants. We talk about that over here. So that's close to $500,000 per month supporting Metis ecosystem dApps based on performance. That's just one of the Metis DAO ecosystem funding programs. So basically what they're going to do is incentivize dApp developers to come build exciting dApps. And when they're performing, when they're bringing volume to the ecosystem, they're going to be rewarded with this $500,000 per month. Again, just a flywheel. More people come in, more activity, more influencers, more pumping the price, more ecosystem growth, flywheel, flywheel, flywheel. Another thing that I've talked about before many times, guys, is that I was a private investor in Metis. I still have all my tokens. Definitely not selling them right now. But the most important part is that any VC who invested in Metis in the beginning, they were unlocked a long time ago, right? And so if they wanted to sell, they would be out. So we don't have any more mega VC sell pressure, which is the most important thing here to think about, where all these other big ecosystems, most of them still have tokens locked, especially the newer ones. And so we can start to see some sell pressure come from there. You will not be finding a lot of sell pressure coming from Metis, I don't think at all, right? This is why I think that this chart, it looks so bullish here up and to the right, where you have other ecosystems where investors are going to be taking profits. In Metis, that's not going to be the case. So some of the projects, the ecosystems that we're going to talk about, I'm going to run over them pretty briefly. But the reason I'm mentioning them too is, yes, this whole thing is dependent on the momentum continuing with Metis, which I think it's going to, for the reasons that we just talked about. So if you believe that narrative is true, then you have to look at the ecosystem there and the most popular projects and look at the comparison of them to the competing products on other L2s. So Tethys is exactly GMX on Metis. And right now, I think it's a 1-to-1 fork. It's like it works the same way. You can see these graphs are up and to the right. So it's good as far as network growth, trading volume, everything looks like you want to see from charts, solid growth. And when you compare Tethys at a $7.6 million market cap, which is also the same as, so it's 100% tokens are circulating. Again, no inflation. And you compare it to something like, let's say GMX, for example. So Tethys 7.6, I don't have it pulled up. Let's just pull it up real quick. $7.6 compared to 500 million, right? So that's I don't know, what is that, like a 60, 80x from here? Is it going to get GMX size? I don't think so. But even if it does a third of that, you're still looking at 20, 30x from here. So that's a good play there. Netswap is basically it's the premier DEX on Metis. So, and they also have Launchpad and Earn program where you can farm, you can stake, and essentially, so you got low transaction fees with Metis DAO, and Metis is one of the cheapest L2s, and it will probably be the cheapest once 4 kicks in. That's the Ethereum upgrade. High-speed transactions for swift trades, massive scalability for many transactions, and it's sitting at a $14.9 million market cap when Sushi, competing one on alternative layers, right? Like that's a good one to compare. You could compare it to Uniswap, but that's a little unfair. I think a fair comparison is something like Sushi Swap, which is sitting at $212 million market cap. So that's what, like a 10, 15x from here. Or if we want to take another look at another comparison, we can just go to QuickSwap. Let's see what QuickSwap, because I want to give you guys some other ideas of like what is realistic to look from here. And remember, we're in the beginning of a bull run. So even though I say it might be like a 15x to go to Sushi Swap, well, Sushi's probably going to pump 20x in the bull market. So maybe, Netswap, then it's realistic that if it hits parity with something like Sushi or QuickSwap, then maybe it does a 50 or 100x in the bull market, right? These are all possibilities, because it's not fair for us to compare it to something today when we know the whole market is about to go completely parabolic over the next 12 to 18 months. So Revenant is a gaming ecosystem, right? And they also have a launchpad. So Revenant is sitting at a $2.7 million market cap and 4.4 fully diluted for a gaming ecosystem. So if we expect gaming to pick up in the Metis ecosystem, this thing is absolutely going to fly. So Revenant has, what is Revenant? It's the first decentralized gaming ecosystem in the Metis network by offering blockchain gaming, launchpad, and an NFT marketplace. So you can go, so a simple explanation would be Revenant will be to Metis what Treasure DAO Magic is to Arbitrum, and to show you what that is, and the NFT marketplace. And so Magic is at a $320 million market cap. That's 100x from here, guys. 100x. Now, Arbitrum has exploded, of course. Do we think Metis is going to catch up? I don't know. Like, maybe not. But a lot of crazy things can happen when you put $500 million into an ecosystem, right? That's a huge deal from here. So these things are higher risk, guys, rather than just Metis alone. But if the Metis narrative continues and this ecosystem grows, these things are really, really gems. Am I suggesting put a bunch of money in here? No. But they are quality projects on a really evolving ecosystem that have high likelihood of pumping pretty good. So let's see. And the last thing I guys want to talk about too is a project that I'm advising called Blocklords. I had a call with them today, and there is a chance for you guys to participate in this airdrop. Now, there is some pretty huge news. This token will be launching on Monday, and I can't tell you which exchange, but there's a good chance that it's launching on one of the top two in some. How do I say this? It's one of the top two exchanges in the world, and it's one of the hardest to get on. And so all you have to do, guys, to participate in this airdrop is go play the game, right? And they've had some pretty amazing statistics so far. You got 40,000 downloads, 50% day one retention, which is like unheard of. 38% day 7, unheard of. 1 million weekly hours played, 50 regions conquered, 2,200 battle passes claimed, and this has just begun. Stay tuned for the Lord launch. Guys, I'm telling you, if you like to play some games, go try it out, download it. You can get some, and I was told also that, get some NFTs, get yourself some heroes, go play out the game, conquer some levels, level up, and expect a sizable airdrop that's meaningful. And it's got some of the best investors in the space, some big traditional gaming influencers as well. I'm also on here. They forgot to put me on here. I'm sad. Just kidding. Elio Trades, Ivan on Tech. But really, you got some really incredible investors: Bitcraft, Makers Fund, Animoca, Delphi, Immutable, Polygon, Spartan, Shima, Republic, 7X, Crafton, like killer cap table. OKX just invested as well. And I'm very, very bullish on this. So go give them a follow. Stay tuned. Participate in the game. It's free to play. They're calling it play to airdrop. And I'm sure that the airdrop, not only we get to play the cool game, download it from the Epic Game Store, but also it'll come with a nice reward. Guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good evening, good day, wherever you are. See you later. Bye-bye.